I am Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22 Youth Factory. We are on episode 14. We enter a new season with intake day. And thus far, before we get into the intake itself, we've started getting offers coming in on players. Our debt has increased drastically again as we just went through 2 months of our highest ever financial hit for our youth setup, where we were getting hit for $90,000 a month for the past couple of months. But for turn of March was right back to where we've been. So I don't know what was going on there, why we got 2 massive months. Maybe that was the preparation for the new intake. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, we ended up with minus $100,000 for the last 2 months running, and that hurt drastically. So we're already back to like $250,000 in debt in just a 3-month window. That hurts. But the financial offers we're getting in are for Calzi, and even bigger offers coming in for Matheson. We've already topped 50,000 well before the trade deadline. I would be surprised if more than one of those players are still here by transfer deadline day. I would be very surprised if they're both here. If they're both gone, I wouldn't be too surprised by that. But my expectation is minimum one of those guys are going to be gone by transfer deadline day. Maybe not before, but by transfer deadline day. Well, anyway, here's our intake for the year, and I've already seen something big here. Christian Bergum, Norwegian. yeah, he plays on top, and he's coming in already as a 4-star guy. Oh man. It also looks like Christopher Allen might be capable. Scioli might be capable of playing. It looks like we have a couple more. Fossum and Al Salih, Syrian player. We've got an Eritrean player. We have a Polish player. So a lot of either mixed blood or whatever multinational players coming in. Top talents also including 5 more players here and nothing below that. So we have quite the group coming in here. Knutson looks to be the weak man of the bunch, the only one who may avoid getting a contract. Other than that, it looks like we are in for an entire group getting signed on, potentially. We've already put out about 4 players on loan for the upcoming season. The returning players, remember we had 3 players going out last season. 2 of them came back slightly improved. One of them came back with a bit of improvement, though. I mean, we had a good plus 5 or 6 to their overall ability, and compared to the rest of the team, there's only been a couple players that trained more than that. So getting them out to another club, getting them some playing time, getting them to some better training facilities has definitely aided our progress. Here's a more direct look at what we're getting out of this intake, and you can see Christian Bergum comes in just behind Ostby as our second best player. Now, in terms of potential, definitely not our highest, but anything 100 plus for us is really good. It's going to get you into the upper divisions when you start realizing potential. Now, last season, Ostby was in the low 60s. He just developed rapidly to the point where he is now. Compared to all of our other players, Ostby is seeing a ton of development. Ostby was, I think, a 59, and then had stalled and wasn't going anywhere, and then all of a sudden going into that last season we started to see a little bit of development. He went from a 59 to a 64 the previous year. Last year went from a 64 to a 74. Bergum here starting out at 65. Well, we'll see what his kind of progression is like. Ace Rod was another one. Ace Rod was about a 53, 52 a year ago, now 59. So there is progression. Norheim, just the 1-year player also up there. And then that's not it, because we've got Berg Fossum. Berg Fossum comes in, not a ton of potential, but comes in very, very capable of playing for us at the senior level. And we now have pretty much, I'd say 47, 46 and above for the senior squad. I mean, there's no reason to have anybody in the low 40s or in the 30s at all in our senior squad any longer. One reminder, though, we do have one big hole to fill as Malum is gone. Remember, he was sold. But otherwise, the senior squad's going to take on that kind of the new approach, the new, hey, this group is getting that little bit better, a little bit more solid, and getting that little bit of development, which is going to be necessary because we now find ourselves in a 5th tier, 4th division that looks like this. It's the 3rd such division, and the number of teams in each subsequent tier is definitely thinning out quite a bit. You can see there's going to be 2 promotions as we're split into 2 groups and quite a few relegations. Not going to be easy, but look at that season preview. Look where we are. We are no longer favorites. We finally, since that very, very opening season where we had all of those ones, we finally find ourselves in a scenario where it's not us. We're not top. We're not favorites. In fact, we're only 6th out of 29. So yes, we find ourselves potentially in the top end of the league, but yeah, we've got a challenge on our hands, and it looks like this could be where we begin to stall out a little bit, have to develop a bit, and then progress more slowly. The downside is we still haven't found ourselves in a scenario where we're going to be financially viable, and we're not seemingly going to climb the ladder very fast at the moment. Could we get out of this level from here? Maybe. Do I need to go manage every single match to make that happen? Maybe. If we don't get out this season, I think next season I might have to just do that. I might have to take the reins, control the team throughout the season, see what kind of development we've got this season, so on and so forth, to set ourselves up. Ostby, the only player making the first 11, so that's already a big, big sign. We've got a challenge. And approaching our midnight deadline for transfers, no surprises that Matheson's offers got bigger and bigger, and we come in at just almost exactly 100,000, and that is clearly the trigger point for the board right now. The unfortunate thing was we just literally went 2 months in a row where we lost 100,000 in those individual months, which means selling Matheson isn't helping us. It's not recovering the funds. It's not the equivalent of what is necessary, and that for me is very worrying. At least unlike our previous deal where we only got 37,000 and then eventually would get more here. We're looking at 67K straight up front, and then the deal can eventually become 100K. The arrange friendly is always a nice thing if you have a bit of stadium capacity and have trouble filling it. When your stadium capacity is 100 and you have 100 every single match, what's the point? It doesn't work out very well for you in those scenarios, as we've already seen this summer with our deal. The one good thing about the board accepting this one is we do get the loan back for the season. So we're not going to lose Matheson yet, because that's actually one position that is still super thin for us. That's that defensive mid spot where Kumar is still the second best option besides Matheson. So next season we could be in a bit of trouble if we don't trade somebody up to play as a defensive mid. But at least we've got him for now. Accept the loan back, no doubt about it. But there you go. That's going to be player number 2 on the go. There's still a handful of hours till the deadline, but I'm not seeing any other offers come in. Though you never know. Kalzi has been getting offers, so we'll see if maybe something comes in for him as well. But he's back into the starting lineup with the now absence of Malum. For the first time, the transfer window roundup has seen us make an appearance on the list. Most players out, 9. That is 2 players set out on free, a handful of others that were just terminated contract-wise, that just weren't good enough when we had the new intake coming in. That I don't think counted towards our total. What did count towards our total was, I believe, 6 or 7 loans. Okay, youth setup drops back to a reasonable level. I wonder, but the timing. See, the timing's what throws this all off. You look at where is March, where would March fit into things, and you look at these 2 months of massive spending. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense, and I don't know how to counter that, because that was so costly. I mean, we just brought in 67,000 and it didn't even hardly break the bank. I mean, we saw a small profit in the last month, but we saw what was a minor debt just grow massively and be significantly worse off, despite selling one of our key players. So current financial status is definitely insecure. Of course, we still have a transfer ban until the year 2100. So, yeah, I'm still worried about the finances. No doubt about it. And the rapid rise looks like could be halting right here. I mean, if we're 4th or 5th place, you would think, especially if we take the helm and take control of every match, we could probably see promotion, first season, second season, maybe third season. But if we're already stalling out, and at this point, we're still losing money even selling 1 or 2 players, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Do we get a team takeover at some point that comes in and bails us out? Do I intervene at some point to bail us out of a bad situation, to give the team some sort of kickstart, a little hand of God kind of moment? I don't know. For now, we hope, we endure, we try. I did mention the administration thing at some point could always be an option, and maybe that'll happen. Maybe we do put the club in a bad enough financial situation that it does go into administration, and we get forcibly relegated for a year and then have to bounce back. And I don't know. For now, steady the course, continue on, and let's see how this year progresses. Transfer deadline behind us. That means we are ready to kick off the season. More teams at the level. First match, a little over 2 weeks away, and this time I have like 6 new faces. 6 new faces at senior level. So I have promoted a handful this time around, and that's gonna change things. That is gonna change things. Johansson has opted to stay, even though I tried to sell him. But otherwise, my couple graduates from the U19s, the forcibly graduated ones from U19s, have already parted ways. We let them go. They just weren't good enough. They weren't going to contribute at senior squad level and no longer had a place in the U19s. Speaking of U19s, U19s is getting a little bit big. But all these guys out on loan. That six out on loan. And an injury, of course, to the best one there. A few players at 50, quite a few in the 40s. Looking down here, like a 35-40. Probably not good enough, actually. And I might as well, because Kumar's a 40. So we might as well just let another one go. And this is one thing I'm kind of trying to do. This is my little hand of God thing where we can just terminate contracts. We don't have to pay them to get rid of them, at least. There's a pick and choose when the time comes that people are willing to offer us money for these U19s. We will gladly accept whatever we can get. Tyler Rigg, another one who, I don't need quarterbacks, and I definitely don't need a quarterback who's never going to develop into something worthy of getting a player. So I'll thin that U19s roster out a little bit more, but the senior squad, let's see, we are out Malum. Johansson didn't leave, so that's really just out one. The U19s that came up, okay, nothing there, but then I called up 6 otherwise. So +6 -1, senior squad's a little bit bigger. U19s at the moment, definitely a little bit bigger as well, but those players on loan is a factor, a thing. I mean, we've doubled what it was from a year ago. So that's room for 3 more guys, plus we sent up, quite a few heading the other direction towards the senior squad. It's not that much bigger. Few players more than what we had is about all. And I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing of all those 50s and 60s now. It's not all bad. And if we can get these guys out on loan, we can train them up or just something. I don't know. Something can happen. I'm hoping something will happen. Right. It's bound to go our way. Maybe. Eventually. I suppose it has gone our way, hasn't it? We've just had, 4 straight title-winning promotions? It has gone our way. Seems like it's about to hit halt again. There's a stop sign, and we've pulled up to it. Can we resume through the intersection? And it's the season opener. We are on the road, and for the first time, we are not favorites. And here's the shocking thing about this situation as well. Not only are we not favorites, but the team we are facing, who just banged one off the either post or crossbar, was right up near the corner. It was hard to tell where it hit, but they're picked near bottom of the league. But because we're the road team and this league is that close, we're picked to lose today. So we'll see how we do. It's a good start. Bergam, a youth intake player, into the starting side, straight into the starting side, opens his bag of tricks with a goal already. Lovas, Bergam linking up very, very well. Acerod relegated to the bench. When you really look, Acerod has a decent credibility, but he's very hit and miss in what his skills actually are. He's not that well rounded for the position. So Bergam in, Lovas in, and those two combine and look much more like proper strikers. So we'll see if they fare well together. So far, so good. In addition, 3 other changes to the side. Now, one of those is Kalzi. Kalzi in with the absence of Malheim, so back into the starting lineup. But 2 other first-time starters in the lineup. Al, not great, but Dalishta, I don't know about that guy. Dalishta is a very incomplete player. Like Acerod, has some ability, but not really quality where you need it for the position as a right midfielder, as your only width, as your do it all up and down the pitch. And so no wonder Astencio was better in the role. I could see why Darlishta was just struggling quite a bit out there. Well, anyway, Al, while not great, absolutely more well-rounded and better than Astencio, and with much, much better. Oh, we were called for that one, not the other way around. Okay, well, we're approaching halftime here. A dangerous moment. Great cover to get back and stop the either shot or the cross. He kind of took both options away, and yeah, we covered that one off really well. Only 0.33 on the XG, but we have a goal at halftime. We've got ourselves a game. The last change is that Langvand, our longtime center back who's never been good enough, but we just have not had center backs coming through any intakes with any quality for quite a while. Gillo comes in to start. So that's 3 from the youth intake in the starting lineup, plus Kalzi back in, and then 7 returning starters. Things are going to look a little bit different this year. Let's see if those 3 adapt quickly, get into the side quickly, perform quickly, and give us something a little bit better, a little bit more. And is that enough to put the team top? Well, we'll see. Now, here's the thing about this league. And this is a huge thing about this league, and I think it has a lot to do with why we are suddenly seeing a big jump in quality from the last division to this division that sees us 6th favorite. Out of the 29 teams, there's only going to be 1 promotion. It's not even 2 automatic promotions, which is already a harsh total. Al! Oh, he takes it outside, but he lays it off for Bergam. Wow. The 2 youth players that grew up together linked up well there. That was a dangerous moment. There's Gillo. There's Al again. That was fairly close, but no power on it. Fairly easy save in the end, but we are generating a little bit of XG here. Already on the hour mark. Here's a real chance, and that's in the back of the net. Hogland, either we lost him or he just shoved his defender out of the way to make that happen. I mean, we've got him covered, and then all of a sudden, no, that's just, we got wrong-footed and tried to switch our footing to get on him, and he just kept running. That was really poorly covered, and it's 1-1. Norheim, Ostby, finds Bergam. Bergam's been all over the pitch. He's done really well. Al loses that one. We don't even recover it here. We find a little bit of space out there to the outside. Defensively, covering things well. Just really poor on that free kick for a moment. Nice cross there. That they're taking that extra width that we're giving them. And we're seeing a little bit of that, but they're not getting any purchase when they go that deep. It's those flashes back and forth, far side, that are doing us in at the moment, and now they are suddenly ahead of us on the XG. Severity, we'll have to think about subbing him out at some point because he is on a yellow, and as this game gets into the final minutes, especially if we get in trouble here, and we're looking to be a little bit in trouble at the moment, that could be a dangerous moment where he could find himself being sent off. It's another dangerous moment. It was a great through ball to set that one up. They recover, we block. Important block there. Gillo heads that away. So what we're going to see... No way, Severide, nowhere near the ball, tangles up with somebody who throws himself to the pitch, and we're giving away a penalty, and now we trail. Now we have to go attacking. We do stand to lose this match, and we have done nothing here in the second half besides the very, very beginning. We're going to have to... do we want to focus through the middle? Let's see what up the tempo, for one thing. Well, let's see what we could do with that, but what kind of subs can we make here late on? They are still all over this thing. We need to shout some encouragement. They are very much ticked off at the moment. Kyle Z struggling. There's your missing Malheim. What do we have? Right, we don't have options. Lovas is struggling, so maybe we bring in Ace Rod. As we know, he did score goals despite not being a well-rounded player. No, it took a penalty, but that ball was nowhere near the goal. It looked like it was going towards the football manager sign on the boards, and it never looked to even have any bend, and somehow it was in the back of the net. It looked like it was going to the of football manager, just deceiving to my eyes, I suppose. Ball had a little bit of arc to it, didn't have much power. He just placed it just inside the post. That's what was deceiving about it to me. He's definitely onside. There's that cross ball that's been catching us out a little bit, and all of a sudden it's 3-1. Folks, we're not getting any points today. We are not dominating this season, and again, this is one of the teams that's supposed to be near the bottom of the league. That looked offside, but it might have been well timed. He certainly ran. Wow, jeez. Okay. We have to accept reality, folks. We have stepped into a whole new realm. Now, here's the thing, and here's our comparison to England for those who are can't see it. Keeper's totally blinded on that one, but still, that was a brilliant shot. Anyway, wow, we're getting hammered all of a sudden, right? One little penalty, and they've completely lost their heads. It's going to be good that at least Kalsi is going to get a bonus. Stensby Jakobsen's going to get a bonus. I'm going to be able to hammer them after this one. But anyway, never mind the yellow card Severetti. That's no longer a threat. Ace Rod sets it up for Ali. Hits the inside of the post. It hits the back of the net and comes out, it looked like. It was so far inside. How was that not a goal? Wow. Oh, some bad luck to go with it. Ace Rod was definitely offside there. Wow, they just opened the floodgates on us the moment that penalty was called. Norheim heads that away. Where is our possession? Where is our control of the ball? There's a little bit of it. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do in the coming season as we get hammered in the opener by seemingly one of the bottom feeders. Now, of course, XG compared to the goals they got does not match up. That penalty seemed incredibly harsh as it was nowhere near the ball. And, who's to say that that guy was actually held, or was Severetti just that desperate to not let him move towards that ball, even though he had a teammate there to head it away easily, comfortably, in no man's land where none of them were. We have 60% of the possession and do nothing. 23 fouls that we were nabbed for in that game. Shots were almost even. I think we were a little unlucky. In that one. But were we? Right? 3 goals come in a matter of a few minutes where the floodgates just opened and a team that's not used to giving up goals suddenly gave up droves of goals. The 6.4s, only one. I could take a risk on Jakobsen and try to get him to improve his work rate, but that's risky at a 6.5. Either way, it's true, folks. We are in for a challenging season. And how do we progress? How do we progress when the training is minimal, the development is minimal, and we lose a player for 100,000, but we lose 100,000 in a month? Whew. Okay. We'll figure something out. We will figure something out. That's going to do it for this episode, though. We're going to end on that note. It's been smooth sailing for a long time, and suddenly, oh my, it has gone the opposite way to start this season. I don't think we're going to be losing every match like this, though. Like I said, I think there was some luck involved. I still think we are one of the better teams in the league, but it just goes to show the massive jump. And when there are 29 teams present and only a single team gains promotion and 6 teams get relegated, that says a lot about the jump in quality. That's that comparison to England, where it's hard to get out of the National League. It's looking like it's really hard to get out of this league, too. And I can see why the quality is so much better. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.